In a previous video, we looked at how to play sounds in a very simple method if you're on a Mac. Now the sounds that we chose were Morse code sounds because we had recently created a encoder that would take a line of text and convert it into Morse code symbols anyways. Of course, Morse code wasn't really written to be written down. It was made to be communicated through sound or through light. So making it into a written language doesn't help a whole lot. We want to transform it into sound. So we're going to take those sounds and we're going to apply it to our Morse code encoder that we created earlier. So I just have that right here. Let's make this size a little better. So this is what I had created before. It's just a really simple Morse code program that uses the string replace method. It's not super amazing. It's a very non-elegant solution, but it's very functional, and functional is more important than elegant and not functional. So we could talk about how to make this more elegant later, but right now let's just talk about how to make it actually play sounds. When we finish this and we print it or we run it, let's see what prints out. We have this string here, my message of SOS, my original raw input, is encrypted too, and then here we have the Morse, and that's what it is. But how do we get it to actually play with sound? In the previous video, to do that, just to play a sound in general, we imported subprocess, and we did a subprocess.call, and in these parentheses we did a set of brackets, and we did AF play in quotes, comma, and then whatever the sound was. So like dit dot wave, and that should be in quotes. There we go. Or dot wave. So if you're trying to change this into the actual audio, you might be looking at this and trying to figure out how do we put this into here. Well, there's two issues with that. One, you can't. It won't let you. It wants to replace the string characters with other characters. It doesn't want to run a program in here instead. But the other thing is, even if you could, you wouldn't want to, because the way that this works is it replaces one letter at a time. So if we were able to get this to work, it's not going to play SOS. Instead, what it's going to play is, as it goes down, it's going to get to the O first, and it's going to play all the O's that are in the message. There's only one, but it would play all the O's. And then it would play all the S's. So your message is going to be out of order. If you had a longer message with A's in there, it would play the A's first, and then whatever letter in the order that it's listed here. So that's not helpful. So then you might think, well, how do I make sure that it plays it in the right order? And really, you're overthinking things, because we already have the message here in the right order and translated. All we need to actually do is tell the program to read this message and play it in the order that things are. So we can actually use a message, we can actually use code that's pretty similar to how we encrypted the Caesar cipher using a loop. So I'm going to do for character in encrypted message, because that's my variable here that I have the encrypted message stored in. And we have a loop. We're just going to say if the character is equal to a dash, which would be like these, then we're going to have this subprocess. So I just copied and pasted from earlier, I had it on the clipboard. But if you don't, subprocess dot call in parentheses in brackets AF play, comma, and then the file name. So this would be a dot wave, and if it is equal to the dots, then we are instead going to play the dit sounds, And if it's neither, well, I'd like a slight delay in there, because otherwise it might get a little too fast. Also, if we're separating our words with a slash and additional spacing, this would create a little bit of pause between the words, which makes it a little bit easier to understand. So I'm going to import time as well, and then down here I'm just going to do a simple time sleep, and I want it to be pretty short, like maybe like 0.1. And so now if we run this, there we go. Although I think I have my sounds named backwards. So let's go in here. Yep, that's what I've done. I've named them backwards. So this should be da, and this should be dit. And I'll have these linked up on Google Drive where you can download them there, and I'll have them already corrected for you so you don't have to rename yours. So now if I try it again, that sounds better. So there you go. Easy way to make our previously existing code play an actual sound instead of just dots and dashes.